The concept of this is like, how do we do? How are you all? How do we do anything that we are doing for the sake of doing it, but doing it for the very best that we possibly can do it? So now I'm going to introduce myself beyond living with the threat of earthquakes and tsunamis and floods, and hurricanes and tornadoes, fires, or disasters, the forces of all of a sudden, anytime, or maybe before you go to bed, or before you raise your head, before the sun could go down or come up as we think of it, or before the earth could go around or circulate or turn or make its arbitrary movements in the universe, whatever it is that maybe could please you as I speak. Again, I'm Lonnie Bradley Harley, and today's date is the 25th of July 2011. We're in the 21st century, and through all of our technical and electronic devices, throughout all of them, I'm just going to let this roll on. As I speak to you, my battery is in the red, so it's not going to be but a few minutes. That's an hunk of leaves. That's an elephant of leaves. I was in Atlanta, and I was over with my daughter and grandchildren, with my daughters and grandchildren. And I remember thinking, if I was a tumbleweed, this is material that talks about the earthquake, the splitting rock, or the separation of the vibration of earth just naturally shifting and moving from one point to the other as certain parts of it decay and deteriorate and rot away. What we as humans, what can we do to boat it down, to use the nuts and the bolts, or use the spikes and the ties and the wires and the binding, and pouring the concretes and stacking the rocks and having new molten iron to fit that was necessary to come along, to frame it, to form it, to build it, to paint it, to technically wire it up, to allow us to know its movement. No plan from the brain of man without a proper introduction for the reasons by words that some human may say. Bringing us the news is like giving us the blues. It makes a lot of us sad, and it causes a lot of us to cry because of those that had to die and those that have had to live on in a life after, in an afterlife, or to deal with the true tragedies of. I may take a map and get all of this, because I'm not there actually where these things have occurred. But in the aftermath of all of these things that have occurred and is occurring, and I'm on earth at this time to give a little bit of a mental consideration of how we should not only be aware, but let's take and be concerned about our global view of situations. Not just my painting in the background or this golden eye or somebody searching for some gold, or back in the days when somebody was establishing a way and we wasn't quite free enough to give these kind of identified ideas and thoughts or reasons for our concern in the midst of this great massive technology, or code to the mama as I call it, the technical, the cables and all of those other things that have to be manufactured and perfected, and then to do the most good before the chips was running out. Again, I'm going to bring this to hopefully 8 minutes, and giving you the 8 minutes, letting you know that it's beyond the technical, it's beyond the water, the gases, and all these other kind of pipes and fluids and different things that we run upon the earth to cool our certain amount of systems that need a certain amount of our endeavors. I could have cut it off on the 7th minute, but I'm going to take it to the 8th minute because of I'd like to turn the number 8 sideways and speak of infinity in my studies as I try to study these materials and get an understanding of them. And I know I'm not your professor. I know I'm not your scientist. I know I'm not who you chose to have talk to you or be concerned about your life on the planet Earth. As we pass 27 seconds, which I'm saying my mother had 27 children, I'm being one of those 27 children, on into the 8th minute of this material. And that piece of material that actually came from the top of the Birmingham Museum of Art, where the roof had to be replaced.